Welcome in to Blue Jays today, folks, where we have got another Toronto Blue Jays trade. That'll do, donkey. That will do. We're bringing Schreck over to Toronto into a Blue Jays uniform. We are trading away. Justin Turner, everybody. We were speculating on whether or not he was even going to get traded because, on the season, Turner has been okay.
He's been turning down for what lately, though? We saw the last 15 games this morning. He's been turning down for what?
He has been getting a lot better lately. And honestly, like the team that we traded him to, the Seattle Mariners, they are a squad where anything is an upgrade.
That's like their third best player right there.
Seriously.
On the offensive side of things.
That's literally not even an exaggeration. We see that we have some resident Mariners fans in here. You guys will be the first to admit offense is an area of need. And Justin Turner, even though he's not going to tear the cover off of the baseball, he can at least provide some solid at-bats. So he is going to Seattle. We're bringing back a prospect in return. We're going to break all that down and then what this means moving forward for the Toronto Blue Jays trade deadline. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
I'm your host, Adam Puddle. I actually want to jump off those resident Mariner fans that are in the chat right now. A lot of them this morning were saying, we're going to go get Vladdy. It's going to be a big blockbuster. But I think they realize that no matter how many prospects they offered up to the Blue Jays, they are just not going to sell him. So they probably said, you know what? Who else you got? You got Justin Turner? Sure. We got a DH spot open for him. We need a bat. Turner is the guy. And you know what? To the Mariners' credits, before we even get to the Toronto Blue Jays, they're doing what they got to do. They're going to add bats, and I wouldn't be surprised if this wouldn't be the last edition. I think there's going to be a lot more for these Mariners to get back
I completely agree, man. They made the big buy. They got Randy Arozarena. They go out, they get Jimmy Garcia. Then they get, Justin Turner as well. I still think that they are in this thing, so that's exciting if you're a Mariners fan. And from a Blue Jays fan standpoint, just getting anything back from Justin Turner, I think we were okay with. Like, again, looking at the numbers today, yes, he's been turning it on recently, but, you look back at this whole season, he had one of the worst months of baseball that I ever saw in May. Again, like on the year, has been okay.
Has been above average bat. He's a 106 OPS plus. That's a good bat you want to add to your team.
No discredit to Justin Turner. And you know what? I think it was still a good offseason signing at the end of the day. Would I have preferred JD Martinez? Of course I would. But you know what? Justin Turner, he did turn down for what with the Toronto Blue Jays, and we did get something back in return for him. So let's take a look at that guy right here. We were making the Schreck jokes because his name is RJ Schreck. There he is, folks, coming over to Toronto. Tell me a little bit about RJ Schreck.
Yeah, RJ Schreck is a 24-year-old, as you can see right here, literally reading us word for word off of Ben Nicholson-Smith's tweet. 24-year-old was taken in the 9th round out of Vanderbilt last year, the same place where we drafted Austin Martin back in 2020, and was just promoted to AA. And over this season, he's batted .250 with an on-base of .392 and .444 slugging. And, of course, he's got 12 home runs this year. Now, RJ Schreck isn't a flashy kind of pick. He is the 29th ranked prospect in the Mariners system, if you look over here, and expected to come up to the big leagues in 2026. And if you look at his breakdown, again, people could change over time, but he's looking like maybe he's your 4th, maybe he's your 5th outfielder. At 24 years old, I kind of was like thinking of this guy as a direct comparison to Nathan Lucas on our system. Like, okay, maybe he touches the fringe, like the toppity top of AAA one day, and then is knocking on the door for maybe some big league at-bats. But that's him as of right now. Now that can, of course, change with maybe some recent surges and some changes to his game. But that's all you're getting. And to be honest, that's all I'm kind of really expecting from a Justin Turner anyways. One guy way deep down in your system. Turner is, again, an above-average bat, so you still got to pay something, even though he is on a one-year deal. He's a veteran guy, been in playoffs many, many times, so you're paying a little bit for that as well. And, hey, you get back a guy, and I'm happy that we got back a guy.
Well, at the end of the day, folks, baseball teams are like onions. They have layers, and what I mean by that is that, you need to have depth, right? You got to have that depth. You got to have these guys that are going to come up and fill in when it is time. Nathan Lucas was that guy for us for a long period of time. This guy, Schreck, could absolutely be that. He's projected to be that 4th or 5th outfielder. Like, that is legitimately kind of what they're talking about as being the ceiling. Now, I will say the Mariners system is arguably the best farm system in all of baseball. So I don't think it's, you're going to get their 29th prospect and he's going to be 29th in our system. He might end up being the 25th or 24th best prospect.
Think about the guy we got back, Clase, for Jimmy. I think he was 12th, if I'm not mistaken, in the Mariners system. Comes over and he's 7th in ours. So
you turns into a top 10 for us.
Exactly.
So like their prospect depth is a lot better than ours. So again, like this guy could shoot up the rankings for the Toronto Blue Jays, and if he plays really well, like I guess we could see him later down the line. But yeah, like I'm not anticipating RJ Schreck to come in and be like a staple of this lineup moving forward, unless of course he just fucking goes crazy here.
Right. And I want to throw another note in here, into this deal that I see you got Sam saying we aren't paying for Turner anymore. We aren't paying for Turner anymore.
We're not.
Well, that is true. I mean, we are not paying for Turner anymore. We took on the majority of his contract. Actually, we took on literally all of his contract. But the point being is, honestly, maybe I'm speaking on a line, but I really don't think that affects the Blue Jays too much because, I mean, you're already kind of committed to paying for him anyway. So anything, that makes the deal that the guy we get back less value. Like maybe we could have got a higher guy if we were willing to eat the rest of his contract. So I don't know. I really feel like it's actually hurts us more than anything, the fact that they are eating the whole contract. Because, like, what are we going to do with that money for the rest of this season?
Yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't, the money means nothing for us.
Nothing to me. Maybe it saves them a little bit for the next offseason.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe?
Like, I guess you could look at it that way, and maybe it does, right? I guess for them, like, they must feel good about it, and Ross Atkins has got to be really happy about that. So, like, GG, dude, I'm happy that you guys don't have to fit the bill anymore. And I mean, at the end of the day, we got a prospect back. Now, Ben Nicholson-Smith just tweeted this out, and it is something to note, everybody. 7 of the 8 minor leaguers that the Blue Jays have acquired so far this trade deadline have been position players.
Yeah.
The pitching is obviously an area of need. Like, clearly they want to stock up on the position players. That's really interesting that they're doing that. Maybe that's just what the other teams are offering up. Maybe that's what we're asking about. I'm not sure. But clearly, position player, or pitchers is where we need to start looking at.
Yeah, because again, you brought this up in the Blue Jays Today show. Ricky Tiedemann is hurt. Obviously Alek Manoah is hurt, and we're looking at our depth, and it's like there's no guy really ready to go in our system for next year. Yeah. I mean, we were kind of gassing up Yariel Rodriguez. Granted, one bad start, but he got blown up today. And
wouldn't be surprised if he is a little hurt.
Maybe he's hurt, or
could be.
He's been hurt twice this year.
He had, and again, this is full speculation, but like he had absolutely no command whatsoever. Was hitting people, was missing everything, and then he got taken out after 0.2 innings. So again, no update whatsoever. But again, would not be surprised if you got an update later that he is hurt.
But yeah, you need pitching depth, and like we already have so much position player depth. Like maybe we are really trying to feed into like we got to hit on this hitting, and then we'll go sign the pitching later. That's kind of the philosophy that. I mean, Ross Atkins, I put quotes because we don't know if he's going to continue this later, but that's kind of the philosophy that Ross Atkins' organization has kind of put into the system. I am curious to see what we're going to get. I mean, I'd hope that we'd get some pitchers back because you're looking at the guys that are left. You've got Yusei Kikuchi, who is a pitcher. You've got Trevor Richards, Isaiah Kiner-Fleff, and Chad Green that could potentially go. I'm not even counting Kevin Gilmore at all. No. He's injured and literally an ass of a player other than a glove. So, I mean, it's true, right? But I would hope that maybe in this second half of of all these trades, we do acquire some pitching in that regard.
Of course, yeah. I mean, Isaiah Kiner-Fleff, Chad Green, Yusei Kikuchi, these are the pieces that you need to trade off and get your pitching prospects, and hopefully pitching prospects that are capable of pitching next year. Like, this is something that, or even auditioning for the rest of this year. Like, we need young guys who are ready to go because walking in the next season, like you are going to have to spend out of your ass on your rotation and on your bullpen. If you want to be competitive at all.
Yeah, I mean, unless you package some guys together, I find it hard to believe that they're going to give somebody that's ready to go next, especially a pitcher who are very valuable, someone who's ready to go next year. Because I mean, what's our highest value at this point? It's Yusei Kikuchi. Maybe it's a Chad Green and that I can't for sure. I feel like those guys you could maybe work up to something like that.
I think it's like Chad Green, you can get,
maybe if it's like just a 1-for-1 kind of thing. If you get you kind of bundle all that value into one guy for sure. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I really hope they go in that direction, but we got it like, a little bit less than 24 hours, or a little bit more than 24 hours, to go.
Well, in conclusion, everybody, Justin Turner traded away. Schreck coming back to Toronto. Again, more moves are coming, folks. Yusei Kikuchi feels like the next one on the list for these Toronto Blue Jays. He's scheduled to start on Wednesday. I don't think anybody expects him to make it to that start in a Blue Jays uniform, folks. So once that trade happens, I assure you we will be live immediately, guys. We're going to be live all of tomorrow from 10 until 6 in the evening. So if you haven't already done so, hit the like, smash the subscribe button, and let us know all your thoughts about this deal down below.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And as always,
go Jays, go!